Yeah, what a fantastic job these guys did all year. They just came together and to do all the things that they accomplished. Highest offensive efficiency, team that committed the least number of fouls during the year, a team that got to the free throw line. So these guys played 30-some games that way, and just unfortunate that this one had to be played out that way.
Okay, we'll take questions for the players. If you raise your hand, we'll get a microphone to you. Right over here.
Josh, Coach was alluding to it, but obviously you guys didn't get the outcome you wanted, but what does it mean the whole season to get to this point?
Question for Josh.
It's hard to see it right now, but the relationships we built with each other, that's the stuff that I'm proud about. We had a heck of a season. The stuff we accomplished. Sometimes, life's not fair. This is not the outcome we envisioned. We knew we were going to win, and it just didn't happen. So, Duke's a great team, but just didn't get it done.
Right here in front.
As of Cinesport, Josh, along those same lines, what did Duke do to prevent you from getting it done?
Josh.
Got to the free throw line a lot, drove into us, and just, you saw it. So we just didn't get it done offensively. We fouled too much in the second half. They were just driving it hard, and, that's what happened.
Right here.
Robert Littell from Black Sports Online. This is for Frank and Josh. For the first 30 minutes or so, you guys' offense was clicking pretty well, but then it kind of got bogged down in the last 5 minutes or so. Was there anything that Duke was doing specifically to cause that, or did you just kind of get out of rhythm a little bit?
Frank, we'll start with you.
No.
Josh.
They're a great defensive team. They've gotten a lot better throughout the year, and that's what happened.
Right here, Michael.
Pointer from the Indianapolis Star. Frank, you guys got Okafor in foul trouble, and I'm sure that's something you wanted to do. What was the plan with him defensively, and what did you feel like you were able to do to kind of get him in that position?
Frank.
He's a great player. We knew we had to get him off the court. Just tried to do whatever we could to stop him. I was able to take a charge early on and force him to miss some shots, and he came alive at the end.
Right here in the back.
Steve Greenberg, Chicago Sun-Times, for both you guys. As seniors, hard as it might have been, did you have a chance to say something to your guys? And can you share the essence of what it was?
Frank.
It's tough to say anything right now. These guys are my family, and I mean that literally. I don't mean that hypothetically. I've never been closer to a group of guys in my entire life, from the coaching staff on down to every single player on this team. It's just going to be hard to say goodbye.
Josh.
I agree.
Questions, please. Okay, seeing none, we're going to let the guys go. So thank you. Thank you, fellas.
All right, I'll see you now.
All right, questions for Coach Ryan, right here in the front.
Noah Kozlov, Cinesport. Coach, what went into the reasoning of fouling late when there's still some time left on the shot clock, game clock?
What was what?
When you committed the foul on Tyus coming out of the timeout to send him to the free throw line when it was a one-possession game late?
I don't think it was one. Find out what the score was. But Nigel went for a steal.
It was 66-63.
He went for a steal, and then Tyus, who's so quick, kind of drew the foul.
Over here, Bob.
Bob Kravitz with WTHR in Indianapolis. You guys have gone all year without fouling. Were you surprised or particularly upset with the officiating that you guys got called so much?
Well, you can't say anything about the officiating. Come on. You trying to set me up? So you want to reword that, or what are you saying?
Just asking the question.
I don't know what the question was.
Did you take issue with the officiating?
Have you ever watched me during a game? I don't think this was any different. No, we have these things that we practice, okay? We practice in our practices where if an offensive player jumps into you, we always call it on the offensive player. It's just what we do. So, you know, there were some situations where obviously our guys felt they were in position. I'm sure they felt they were in the right. So both teams are going to always feel that there's a question or two. So it's just the way the game's played. But I've been with these guys a long time, and I've watched a lot of basketball. I just sometimes games are played differently, and you have to go with the flow.
Right here.
Coach, Kevin Urbanbeck from the Kentucky Colonel. Coach, what are you going to remember most about these seniors, and what about them represents the University of Wisconsin, the way they played?
Oh, everything. Just, yeah. When you go through an experience like this and you get asked a question, it's really hard to put into words the years, the hours, the travel, so it'll be in their memory bank and it'll be in my memory bank. But, you know, it's not something that you easily express. If you've ever played on a team, if you ever were in the service, if you were ever with a company for a long period of time, there's things that happen and things that develop, and it's hard to describe them. It's just an inner feeling that you have. But this group was so together and enjoyed each other's company, could needle with each other, and they did a lot of good things. I mean, again, if you go through all the things that this team did as a team, the offensive efficiency I mentioned, fewest number of fouls in the country, fewest number of turnovers. You know what it takes to have the fewest number of turnovers? A lot of discipline, a lot of work goes into that. And if you've ever tried to play the game, and it's not as easy taking care of the ball as you think, but this group just set another standard of taking care of the ball. Playing defense with their feet, things like that, not their hands. Sometimes hands are allowed more than others. You know how the game goes. And like I said before, you always got to adjust. So I really can't put into words how close and how special this is. Maybe someday I will, but it's just, and to see him go out this way, that's tough.
Right here.
Michael Pointer from the Indianapolis Star. Bo, just elaborate a little more on Frank said how you guys wanted to deal with Okafor, because you did have a lot of success with him until those last 3 or 4 minutes. And by the same token, when Duke made that late run, what did you feel like started kind of turning for them that kind of swung the game in their favor?
Well, Okafor had a lot of rest because of the foul trouble. And those 2 plays that he made on the potential AM1 and also on the other basket that he had. I mean, he exerted his will, his influence, and got it done.
Right back here.
Homer, ESPN Milwaukee. A loss is a loss, but is it any tougher for you or the players when you think we're up 9 with 13 minutes to go?
Anybody that's been around basketball knows that 10, 15, 9, 8, 13 minutes ago, that's forever. Teams make runs. Happens all the time.
Right down here.
Karen Kraus, New York Times. Bo, Frank said it's just going to be hard to say goodbye. Can you talk about, is it going to be hard for you to say goodbye to this class of seniors?
Oh, without a doubt. All the seniors that I've had the hard to say the word, but every player that's played through the program, okay? We don't do a rent-a-player, you know what I mean? Try to take a fifth-year guy or whatever, and that's okay. If other people do that, that's great. I like trying to build from within. It's just the way I am. And to see these guys grow over the years, and to be here last year and lose a tough game, and boom, they came back, they said what they wanted to do, and they put themselves into that position, and they won't forget this for a long time. You know, it's went on, but I told them that's life. Wait till you get a job. Wait till you start the next 60 or 70 years of your life. It's not always going to work out the way that you would like it to, but then you measure a person by what it takes to discourage them.
We're going to take two more right here.
Noah Kozlov, Cinesport. Coach, what did Duke do that didn't allow Decker to get going tonight?
Decker's been played like that before. Maybe not as physical, but he just was off on his outside shot. We all would have liked to seen one or two of those go down, but they didn't. And that happens in games, and he hasn't had very many of those, but it happens.
Right back here.
Well, one last thing. On Frank, I'm not going to ask you about his legacy, but just on his performance tonight, what was your take on it?
Oh, he was a gamer. He was getting banged around like crazy, and I was kind of hoping he'd get to the line a little more, but it just wasn't the way it worked out. But he was tough. He tried to play hard. Fortunately, there were a lot of timeouts, so he got a chance to get some rest, and he's going to get even better. But what he did in his years at Wisconsin will be remembered for a long time.
Thank you, Bo.